So we are the 6 Blaze like Travis, my school.
We've been here for 2 years almost, and I always like to implement some of my training here. You know, as I said, it's a good option for me to slow down, you know, the pace and see where the gaps are and just be a student. You know, I think I love this part of the journey of just being a student, and being a Jiu-Jitsu athlete kind of like allows you to do that.
In order to get to the top, you have to beat everyone that is on your way. So I'll be facing Nick Rod, on who is #1 in Costa Mesa. Fighting a guy like him would just be good for me, you know, like to display my jiu-jitsu and, you know, reach out to more and more people to see my work.
If I'm staying with like my frames here and controlling, as soon as I try to free this leg to recover, it's really easy for Philippe to stop me and just kind of back out, step over. Okay, and then you're back to that same position. So if you want to recover your guard, you're gonna have to control this arm, but now I'm gonna use this arm to come over his head. So I'm controlling this position. So I still have my shield right here, so it makes it difficult. As he starts to put pressure, I keep controlling this hand. I can move my head away a little bit, step on the hip.
We're working through a specific curriculum all the time with our students, so it was kind of cool that it happened to be half guard this week. It's probably a position he's going to be in a lot. Victor's training, I think with most of our training partners, it's always like scrambling and pressuring and like nonstop going back and forth, and I think this is, you know, being more aware of like the positions that you're in and what are bad positions and how to kind of push a pace without exposing yourself. So how do you control the distance, keep it on your terms, and you're able to stay sticky enough to like go into the deep waters of jiu-jitsu, which Victor really thrives in.
Even though I faced Nick before, right now he's in a different moment.
This is a good position here for Rodriguez.
His brand grew so much since last time he fought. He had a really good match with Purguisa. He's way more confident on his jiu-jitsu. He's going forward, you know, he's not like shining back. Seeing that match and seeing his last match, it made me even more fired up to fight him because, oh, that guy is actually trying to do jiu-jitsu, he's putting the pace forward, and that's what I expect for our fight. I think there's a lot of areas that I'm better at because I believe I'm a more versatile grappler, you know, like, as I said, I do certain things, but I don't rely on those things, only on those things to win, you know. I can kind of like succeed in different areas, and I think that's going to be my path to the win against him.
And it looks like he's about to take the back and get the score on Big Dan.
The points are on the board. The time's expired. Victor Hugo is moving on to the next round.
I think a lot of people like almost like sleep on me because I show up, I win, and then I go home. But if you look at my records, I'm literally fighting the toughest guys and a lot of times submitting them.
Higher. It's always like exciting just seeing like the crazy things that he comes up with, or you know, someone that big that can move that fast. Fortunately for me, we have enough big guys now. I don't have to kind of go in there and train with him that often. It's incredible to watch. Right, so when he starts putting the things together and he starts opening up his game, I think you're going to see a really dangerous Victor this year.
Not only is he incredibly agile, and he moves so well on his back and is able to do some really amazing things, but he's really strong. And I know this because I train with him, you know, almost every day. He's like a big, strong gorilla. He's strong in the weight room, but in the mat, it's frightening.
Just stand up and get out. Stand up.
I know he will go out there and do what Victor Hugo does, which his guard's extremely difficult to pass. He doesn't give up. He's in great shape, and he's done all the things he needs to in my book. Now it's just going to have to come out and do the fight.
One of the mistakes that I've done before is to push myself too hard when it's this close. So right now I think is the best time for me to work on the tails, you know, kind of like piece up the specific parts of the match that could eventually happen or are most likely to happen and fix those things. I could say a lot of people would be, you know, like kind of happy just getting wins, like winning here and there, like beating big names by decision. But for me, it doesn't feel like you haven't completed the mission if you haven't got the tap, you know? And that's the feeling that I have since I faced him the past 2 times. I've been able to fill up those gaps that I had back then, and he's just gonna be a perfect opponent for me to show, you know, and display the technique that I've been working on.
I mean, you see Victor, he wins from everywhere. You'll see Victor enter the legs. You'll see Victor play classic jiu-jitsu. You'll see him doing some wrestling now. You'll see him playing the open guard. Like, you'll see him on top, putting a lot of pressure, right? You know, it's going to be different. I think it's going to be an exciting, explosive matchup. I think they're both like kind of at their peak right now. And you know, the good thing is like they want to get out there and mix it up. Thank you guys so much. Big challenge for Victor coming up, so thank you guys so much for supporting him.
Thank you guys. Yeah, that's the part that matters the most to me. The preparation. Have you guys doing this training together means a lot. The energy, everything, your time. And yeah, love it. Thank you, Steve. Thank you guys. Let's go.
All right, cool.
Even though I'm training to beat him, that's not the only thing I'm training for. My main goal for this year is August. Each challenge, you know, will make me better all the way to ADCC, and that's how I see this. You know, it's the beginning. You know, it's the beginning of my run to ADCC, and yeah, it's going to be a great fight, a great opponent, and a great opportunity for me.
Let's go.